Hey everyone, Voodoo here. So in today's video, we're going to be going over a topic that I wanted to cover for a little bit now. That's basically kind of the illusion of choice that Havoc Demon Hunter has in a lot of their talents. So basically what that is there's choice nodes on the tree that, you think you'd be able to choose between, but really it's an illusion of choice, meaning there's not really a choice there. It's a pretty big design issue in my opinion. It's a pretty big deal for Havoc Demon Hunter. So today we're gonna go over it. Now, a few things first, make sure you like the video and subscribe. Scroll down to the comments as well, drop a comment. While you're down there, check the description. I have a link to my Twitch where I stream 4 or 5 days a week. I also have my Discord, and I am sponsored now by W. So there's a link down there in the description. They're an energy drink company. They're pretty cool, honestly, cool flavors. Use the code Voodoo10 at checkout for 10% off and to support me a little bit. Go check that out. And with that, also, this is my face. Hello. We're gonna go on to the video. All right, so here we are in the game. Now that I was saying, there is an illusion of choice for Havoc Demon Hunter. Now, basically what I'm talking about, let me just go to the talents here, is you see all these choice nodes on the tree. Well, with a choice node, you think you actually have a choice. But the thing with this and the illusion of choice that I was talking about is that there isn't actually really a choice between them. For every single choice node on this tree, except for literally one, there is not really a choice there. There's always going to be an option to pick, and that's a pretty big issue. So today we're going over all of the different nodes and the different issues with them, illusion of choice. I was doing this thing on Twitch for a bit, I think over the weekend, where I was trying out a bunch of different builds. Like meme builds, a bunch of different talents and stuff that you wouldn't normally pick. So I have some experience with some of these lesser picked choice nodes, you should say, but overall they're still not really that good. So we'll just hop into it. I'll throw up some footage on screen of me doing a dungeon with some of these things where it's applicable, and otherwise I think it should be good to go. So moving over here to the left side, we'll start with the class tree. There's a few here. First one, I've talked about this before, Fel Blade versus Aura of Pain. Fel Blade is just kind of always gonna be the choice. It doesn't do much damage. There's a meme about it getting buffed over and over and over again, which is kind of funny. There's a little meme card that goes around the Havoc Demon Hunter Discord. And then Immolation Aura is one of those things that's just doesn't do anything, right? So what I'm talking about, Aura of Pain, increased critical strike chance Immolation Aura by 6%. The only time that really actually matters is for Rage Fire, and it doesn't actually do that much of a difference. Basically, whenever you hit 6 targets of Rage Fire, the damage for Rage Fire hits the maximum amount it can. So again, Rage Fire draws the first 3 critical strikes. Whenever you're against 6 targets, you're going to be hitting 3 crits most of the time, every single tick. So this 6% extra increase of critical strike chance does basically nothing. It's pretty worthless. Even using Fel Blade once or twice in a boss fight or a dungeon is better than taking the other one. Now, this is actually a real choice. Now, it's personal preference. We only use it to go down to Sigil of Misery. Concentrated Sigils is probably worse, but, it can be used in PvP or something, I guess. Precise Sigils is going to be better in most scenarios, but, there's cases for Concentrated Sigils to be better. This one, again, is weird. So this one basically means that each enemy stunned has a chance of giving you a soul fragment. Soul fragments do nothing for us, so I don't know why you'd ever want to pick that. But it is there. It is an option. You can do that. It's very strange, especially when this one gives you less cost and less cooldown. So hey, you know what? At the end of the day, it's up to you. But this one, very weird. Demonic's always going to be better than First Illidari, right? It's if both of these are just to give you more meta uptime, Demonic is infinitely more meta uptime than First Illidari is. 10% versatility, not enough to offset the cost here for Demonic. You're always going to pick Demonic. It has such good synergy with stuff like Essence Break, stuff like Shattered Destiny, such like Cycle of Hatred. First Illidari is just really, really bad. 10% verse, so 10% damage, 5% damage reduction. Not going to be worth it to have a minute less meta. You're losing so much damage from not taking Demonic, so there's not really a lot of point in ever doing this. This one, I guess, is a choice, but realistically, 30 seconds off Sigil of Misery, sure, or you get 20% damage, you're always going to take that. Now, I think there's a discussion certainly to be had about Misery and Defeat in general, and about how it's kind of a poor option. It's not very good in terms of having to use your CC to deal damage. It's kind of a bit of a toxic gameplay thing there. So lots of people don't like this. I think I'm in the camp of not liking it. I think it's kind of weird. You might enjoy it personally, but I think it's very weird that we have to use one of our 2 AoE stops to do damage. 20% is sizable, and obviously it doesn't work on everything, but it's definitely weird that this exists in the way it does. Coming down here, this one's a real one. This one, I gotta say, this is a real choice node. I actually really like this one. So you have a choice of 2 minute less darkness or longer darkness. Now the thing here is that longer darkness is going to be very useful if you're only assigned every 5 minutes, basically. So like in a raid, if you can use your darkness every 5 minutes or so, then this is going to be very powerful. If not, you can get another extra use of darkness in like a 6 minute fight or a 7 minute fight with pitch black. So this is a real choice node. I'll give them this one. This is probably the best one on the tree. Like it's kind of hard to get good choice nodes as Havoc, and it's just as what we have, but this one is the only actual good one. Coming down, Relentless Pursuit is terrible. So I've talked about this a few times. Basically, the cooldown of the hunt is reduced by 12 seconds whenever you kill an enemy that has its dot, which means that you want to use this as packs are dying, and you want to basically waste the damage from the dot portion. Now, the hunt itself doesn't do a ton of damage if you don't have enemies necessary talented. It's like 70,000 to like one target plus like 40,000 to like 4 others, which is like fine. That's with this dot increase. If you don't have that, it does a lot less. And not having that with Relentless Pursuit means that the dot itself does a lot less damage, which means, yeah, you're gonna be losing damage on it, especially when you use it at the end of like the fight. But it also, I don't know, it's just weird. So the best way to do this is you have 5 targets, you use the hunt as they're all about to die, you get the initial hit of the hunt, and you get 1 or 2 ticks of the dot, and then they die. The timing requirements there is crazy. The fact that you want to use this with initiative when you possible and with the agility buff makes this just way worse than it otherwise would be. So Unnatural Malice, way better. Over here on our spec tree now, so those are all the Class G ones. And now I will say the Class G ones aren't as bad as they otherwise could be, but like, I don't know, they're like, all of them are just choice nodes that you're never going to pick, right? It's all an illusion of choice. It's like you're given a choice, but one option is just so much better that there's not really a choice. It's like if I were to offer you $1 million or 1 Big Mac, you're going to take the $1 million for the most part. I mean, hey, if you're really hungry there and there's no McDonald's and you're really craving a Big Mac, sure, but it would be stupid to turn down the $1 million. So that's kind of the idea here, right? It's like there's choices, but they're not really choices. You kind of already know what you're taking. Anyways, so Spec tree, Demon's Blades is just always gonna be picked now. It's essentially free fury. We don't have to push any buttons. It's very consistent. It just happens all the time. Demon's Bite, so Insatiable Hunger, feels terrible to use. It's so bad to use just because we have so many different buttons now we have to be pushing. There's just never really a world to take this, especially when it does less damage. Now, yeah, it gives you more fury, but just having the nice, smooth fury generation that Demon's Blades gives you is so much better than having just used Demon's Bite. Demon's Bite is so clunky. It's so unfortunate. It's so just not good to use. It's a relic of like older Demon Hunter that I don't know why it's in the tree anymore. Desperate Instincts is also bad. Now, again, this isn't a good choice node either. It's really hard to take. You're probably going to take Netherrock for most of the time. Netherrock's not a great immunity, but it is an immunity, which is important. But Desperate Instincts is like, okay, so you get 10% extra damage taken from Blur, which would be good. Like 30% reduction on Blur is nice, but then you also just trigger it whenever you go below 35% health, which is weird and kind of useless. A lot of time when you go below 35% health, you're probably gonna be fine. Very rarely do they do 2 shots like that unless you're really fucking up. Pardon my French, I guess. But B, you want to use Blur proactively, not reactively, right? So you want to use it before the damage comes out, not after you've already taken the damage. So by having that trigger below 35% health, basically it's incentivizing you to not use Blur and have it just auto trigger for you every time you go below 35% health, which is not when you want to use it. It's like a fallback button that doesn't really work well as a fallback button. So Desperate Instincts in itself just doesn't really make sense. I guess in PvP, it makes a little bit more sense if you're being like targeted down and you get low health and stuff like that. But like, I don't know, man. It's just, why put a point into that? It's just like, it's A, it's a damage loss. B, it's just bad. Okay, we got a few more here, only 2 more. These 2, I will say, I have played with. I was doing meme builds. So, Fel Barrage. Yeah, okay, Fel Barrage. Woo. So, Fel Barrage is one of those old spells, and it was kind of the reason I wanted to make this video. Fel Barrage as a button is just going to be way worse than Glaive Tempest. So Glaive Tempest, what it's doing is every 15, 16 seconds, it's hasted, so it's a little bit less than that. But basically 3 to 4 times a minute, you're going to go out and you're going to do 35,000 chaos damage to all nearby enemies, and it deals less after 5. Very solid, very consistent damage source. It's just one button. It costs 30 fury, whatever. It reduces I-beam with Cycle of Hatred. It extends Shatter Destiny. Synergistic, nice AOE button. Deals good damage. Is nice for whenever you're not in your I-beam window. Stuff like that. And then you have Fel Barrage. So you unleash a torrent of energy over 3 minutes. It's a 1 minute cooldown. It's a channel. So it's a 3-second channel where you deal 63,000 chaos damage to all enemies in 8 yards. And it deals reduced after 8. So yeah, there's 3 extra targets before it gets reduced. But generally speaking, you can't push other buttons during this, which makes it a lot worse because Glaive Tempest you can push other buttons during. So this is just a free passive damage source. This, you're locked out of 3 GCDs for it. You want to use it in a window of high haste because this is a hasted channel. And what I mean by that is it's still going to be a 3-second channel. But if you have more haste, it's going to do more ticks of damage in that window. So I'm pretty sure if I go into meta form here, if I just get the haste from meta here, we'll hit I-beam real quick, full channel. Then I go here. Yeah, see, it's going to be 82,000 now because my haste is a lot higher from Furious Gaze and from Demon Form. But that's basically using your whole I-beam window to just empower this source of damage. That's not even that good. If like you're wasting out your Cycle of Hatred, you're wasting out your Shatter Destiny. You can't really use Essence Break during it because Essence Break has such tight requirements without, having Shatter Destiny. So you're basically committing your entire damage window of I-beam to this button, where it just kind of does less damage than like Death Sweep. It does less damage than things like Inner Demon. So it's just really bad. This is probably the worst button on a tree. It has no synergy with Cycle of Hatred or Shattered Destiny either. You're in this meta form, you're ticking down, you're not spending Fury, you're not reducing I-beam cooldown, you're just kind of blasting enemies with Fel Barrage. Now, I will say it does look kind of cool. And people from the past might enjoy playing with it, but it's not good at all. And then finally, we have Elysian Decree. Now, this is kind of also bad. With any means necessary, it's like, all right, it's fine. But then you just kind of have another 48 1-minute cooldown. To really get the most out of it, you really want to come down in the class tree to quicken sigils, which is really hard to do as Havoc. You have to like drop all your utility, which just makes you like even more of a liability in dungeons. And on top of that, like, yeah, it does damage, it gives you soul fragments, but it just does less than fodder. Fodder, basically full healing you, is really, really strong. And it's one of those things a lot of like newer players, maybe when they're reading this, don't consider. Fodder also gives you a 20% damage amp. It is crazy strong. It's crazy how strong a 20% damage amp is, especially when you're combining that with other damage enhanced windows. 20% on top of Demonic, on top of Essence Break, on top of Restless Hunter. It does a ton of damage. Like, it's actually crazy the difference from having that demon form, the demon soul, to not having the demon soul is. So A, it's really hard to give up fodder despite how frustrating it is. And B, Elysian Decree just doesn't do that much damage. It's like 50,000 arcane damage to 5 targets, and then reduced after that if you have enemies necessary. So if you have the mastery scaling, and that does require you to go all the way down to enemies necessary. Now, of course, you take this node in that build, but every 1 minute, 50,000 damage is not that much. It's like a much worse hunt, which is a 1.5 minute cooldown and also heals you. Like, yeah, you get some souls from it, which is like basically a full Fury bar if you have Demonic Appetite. But again, if you're playing the left-right build to make that do more damage, Demonic Appetite's not being picked. So it's kind of just at a loss for where it wants to be. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. We don't have any of the fun things from Shadowlands that actually made it good. We don't have Brawn. We don't have Mechanico's final thing, reducing its CD and giving it a dot. We don't have the extra versatility and fury gain you got from the legendary. We don't have Repeat Decree giving you more sigils. There's a lot of things from this thing that just don't tie into it anymore that make it really bad. Now, could they tie more things into it with like a tree rework? Yeah, they could, but they're just not right now, which means that this is not good at all, right? So those are kind of all the different little things on the tree. There's lots of different like choice nodes, but none of them are choices. Like, you have other, I guess for most classes this is similar, but for other classes, choice nodes generally do have at least some semblance of choice, where you can pick between two things in certain scenarios. Now, some of them will always be better in one scenario or the other, but a lot of trees do have different choices in their choice nodes. This isn't just a Havoc problem. This is a problem that's shared with other classes, but it's one that I think is really bad for Havoc Demon Hunter because all of your choice nodes are effectively not choices if you're trying to be optimal. So I do think that's an issue. I think that should be fixed, but that is basically going to be it for our video today. So that's it for today. Let me know what you guys thought. Face cam might not happen again in the future. I don't know. We'll see. You might not even see this video. Who knows? We'll see how I feel with the camera. It's a bad camera quality. We'll upgrade it or whatever. But that's gonna be it for the video today. So, few things. Let me know what you think about the choice nodes or the illusion of choice down in the comments. Would help me out if you drop that as well. You know, hit the like button, subscribe as well. While you're down there, if you want to help the channel out, consider becoming a channel member. There's a link in the description below. Click that link, become a channel member. You get tons of cool perks, and you get to support me. You get access to emotes for comments, you get access to exclusive parts of my Discord, you get access to VOD review or log review, exclusive videos, stuff like that. And on top of that, another big shout out to Dubby for the sponsorship. So go down in the description, click that link there, go to the W store and use the code Voodoo10 at checkout to give me a little kickback and support the channel. So appreciate you guys. You guys are great. I'll be streaming tonight on Twitch, so follow the Twitch, check that out. And hopefully we see some Havoc changes soon. And yeah, that'll be it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Peace. A big shout out to my channel members, Andrew Kunel, 121, Payne, Joshua O'Connell, a period, Brad Wisniak, Zooligan, Oxclamation, It's Bulk, Flapjack67, and Spaghetti. Big shout out to all you guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. If you want to be a channel member, get access to exclusive videos, special part of my Discord, emotes for comments and stuff, consider following the link in the description and joining there. So thank you all so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.